Chipping. Let's make this video super simple and super easy to implement so you can start making progress right away. I'm going to share with you 3 simple things that you can do that's going to improve your chipping immediately. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV, and chipping, it's my favorite thing to teach. You know that. And why do I love it? Because quite frankly, there's a lot of bad information out there on chipping. And I love the KISS method. Remember, keep it simple. You know the last part, so let's dive right into it. I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do and 1 thing that you can do on the golf course that requires no practice. So here we go. The first thing I want to talk about is ball position, because there's a lot of confusion out there. Now, most instruction people are going to tell you to move the ball back in your stance. Now, I don't like that for a couple reasons. One is then they usually get the hands forward, it de-lofts the golf club, the ball comes out low and hot. Especially start chipping into the grain, there's a lot of bad stuff that can happen when the ball gets too far back and the hands get in front. I want you to position the ball where the ball is in the center of your heel. So here's how you're going to do that. I've got a golf ball right here set up, and I've got my hole right there. You can see it down the line. I'm going to take just a simple alignment rod, or you could use a golf club, and I'm going to position it. Okay, so here's my target line, pointed right there at the flag. I'm going to take this rod right here and form a nice T. All right, so it's perfectly right there, perpendicular to the line. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to get set up here with your feet pretty close together, and I want this alignment rod to be right in the middle of your heels. Okay, so notice where that's positioned. Now, you notice I didn't say middle of your toes or middle of your feet or middle of your body. It's the middle of your heels. Now, the reason I say middle of the heels is because your toes are going to be flared out just slightly. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get the ball in the right spot, which is in the middle of the heels. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to get a little bit of your weight on the lead foot. Okay, so I'm set in here, and I'm going to have a little bit more weight on my lead foot. So I probably have got maybe 70% of my weight on my lead foot and 25% on the back. So here we go, I'm set up, got the ball right there, comes out super nice and soft. Now, the reason we move the weight on the lead foot is it does help us catch the ball in a slight downward motion. This is where my coaching is different than some other coaching. Other coaches might tell you to move the ball back in the stance and get the hands forward to create that downward motion. As we've discussed, and I've done a couple videos, I should say a couple. How many have we done, Nick? Probably
lots.
A lot of videos on chipping where we talk about why moving the ball back and your hands in front don't work. But you can still create that downward motion, which you need by not moving your hands forward. You create it as I just told you. Set up right here. Let me get the ball in the right spot there again with your weight just a little bit forward. So those are the first 2 tips that you're going to do. Now, the next one here that I want to give you has to do with the motion. And this is the one that most people overlook when it comes to chipping, especially if you're hitting those chip shots right in here. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say the word, but they're right there. They're in there close. All right, we did a video on that a couple weeks ago. A lot of people watched that one because a lot of people struggle with that. But I want you to feel like the club head swings more straight back and straight through. Notice the direction there. You can kind of see that down the line, can't you? Okay, now 2 things happen when I do this. One is, notice where the club's hitting the ground? See where it is? Right where the alignment rod is, right? Okay? And also, it's going to move the center of contact more into the middle of the face there. Move the ball out of the way there, if you start swinging it around, you start hitting behind it, and also you start hitting it right there. Remember that spot? And if you start swinging it too out and across, see where the bottom of the swing moves? It moves forward, and you're going to hit it out on the toe. So if you're hitting it out on the toe, you might be swinging out and across. If you're hitting it on the heel, you might be swinging it too in. Where you want to swing it is straight back and straight through. So here we go, let's recap these. Center of the heels, weight a little left, straight back, straight through. Get, close, all right? A little hot coming out of there, but good direction. Now, I promised you that I'd give you a little tip here to take to the golf course. And I gotta tell you this, because if I don't tell you this, my guy Nick's gonna get mad at me back at the office. Hey, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell, do me a favor, right? And leave a comment, because I love hearing from you. That's how we come up with these ideas that we're shooting here today. Now, what I want you to do when you go to the golf course, if you're kind of a new golfer and you don't get a lot of chance to practice, is do all of your chipping with 1 club. I've got my 58. All right, use 1 club for all your shots around the green. Now, ideally on this shot that I'm hitting right here, if I'm practicing a lot and I'm a high skilled player, I'm gonna probably hit this shot with my 54. I've got my 58 right now. If I'm hitting a shot all the way across the green, I might be using a pitching wedge, okay? But the truth of the matter is you've got to practice to master all of those clubs. What you want to do to keep chipping simple is use one club all the time until you get a chance to practice. So here we go. One club, 58, ball in the center of the heels, weight a little left, I'm all dialed in, straight back, straight through. Very nice, I'll take that every time. Keep it simple, keep it simple. These couple ideas will help you do that next time you head to the golf course. Now that we got you hitting the golf ball more solid, check out my next video. And if you want to personally work with us and my team on your golf game, check out VLScoaching.com.